Book 1. No words. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. You've already clicked on this video so you know that we're doing another 24-hour readathon. Yeah, I'm obsessed, I'm addicted guys. Uninterrupted time of reading, yes. We're gonna do it the same as we normally do. If you're new here, you don't know, welcome to my channel first of all. Make sure you subscribe if you like books and reading content and vlogs and things like that. But I like to do 24-hour readathons here in the format of we set a timer and we read for 24 hours. It gets paused to eat, to sleep. So that way we're only sort of recording active reading time. The purpose of this is just to see how many books I can get through and read. I think it's fun. You guys seem to think it's fun. As someone who is a relatively fast reader, I do get through quite a lot of books. So I'm gonna pick out 6 books today, and that's gonna be sort of the TBR or like the general vibe, though I will be mood reading, so I might swap some stuff out, but I thought that we'll pick out some books for a lineup first because I hate having to think about what I'm gonna read next when I'm in these. I just want to pick up something. So okay, this is we've got a bit of an interesting lineup, and obviously I like to keep Kindle books in the mix too, and I do want to start Trial of the Sun Queen. I've been talking about it for so long, but I'm going to save that I think for later on at night time so I can read it in bed. We're starting a lot of book series guys. I didn't want to pick up ones that I think I want to like read the full series back to back, but we do have Dance of Thieves, and then I also got Vow of Thieves because it's a duology, so if I can knock out both of them then that's a series complete, you know. I've got Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. People said they loved this and it was like a really fun, enjoyable read, but it's not one that's like gonna absolutely change your life and you'll be thinking about every day after. So that sounds like it's good to read in a 24-hour readathon. And there's also one book in the series. I think there's like a second book, but it's like a novella or like a short story or something afterwards, so like you don't have to read that. So technically it's just one book, not a whole series I have to read. I do have The Witch Collector, and I have been wanting to read this for ages. It's actually quite short. It's only 340 pages. It is a tall paperback. It's very skinny. It's the same, like it feels to me like it's printed the same as the Blood and Ash books, which I really enjoy reading. It's like bigger, so I've wanted to read this for ages. It's on my list. I only have book 1. I know there are 3 books out in this series, but I only have book 1, so we can only read 1. So we got that, so that's another series. And then Bonded by Thorns. This is a new hardcover I've got, and again it is quite short. It's like 370 pages, so I should be able to read it quite easily in one sitting. But I do have book 2, so if I want to go and read book 2 after, I can. These are also the new covers. I think they were indie covers before, which were also cute, but I really like the new covers. But yeah, I've got book 2, so if I decide I want to pick up book 2 I can. But this is a Beauty and the Beast reverse harem type of fantasy story. Oh, the map is beautiful. A spicy Beauty and the Beast retelling with enchanted fae, morally grey characters, a sinfully hot villain, and a princess who has found her prince charming. All 4 of them. I mean, like, I don't mind a reverse harem. It's not my favorite because, again, like, I am one woman, one man type of girl. But why not? It's a fun fantasy story. It's made up. But look at that map. Also, don't know how spicy this is going to be. And I'm not like a big spicy gal, as we know. So maybe some of the spice will be getting skimmed. But this is the potential lineup. I have so many good books right now, like on my shelf, that I want to read, so maybe mood reading will change it up, but I have a feeling that like this is what I want to prioritize, and I know exactly which book I want to start with first. We're gonna read The Witch Collector first. I forgot to film myself pouring the matcha in, so I'm sorry. You only saw me make the blueberry milk. Oh, it's so good. If you've had Blank Street blueberry matcha, this is what I make at home. When I was there with Bethany, she took note of like what syrup brand that they were using there, so I bought it and they have it on Amazon. I'll leave the link to it in the description if you're curious. But this is my blueberry matcha. I'm not drinking coffee at the moment, so we've been having a matcha a day when I feel like it. And we'll definitely need all the caffeine that I can get for this 24-hour reading challenge, but we're about to set the timer. I think I'm just gonna do 12 hours today and just set it for that, and then we'll do 12 hours tomorrow. Or do I just set it for 24 hours? You know what? Let's just set it for 24 hours. Okay, you ready? Book 1. we finished the first book. We've read that in 3 hours and 40 minutes, and that is 343 pages. So that's not too bad. Again, pretty standard for me, but I can't believe that we've only finished one book. I'd like to get a second one and start a third tonight. I'd like to read one more paperback and then start my Kindle read and read that one in bed. So that's what I'm going to do. And hopefully I can read the second one in around the same amount of time. So like when it gets to 10 p.m, I can crawl into bed with a Kindle. But this one, I don't know. I think I need to like sit on the rating for this. I'm not sure what I'm leaning towards. I enjoyed it, but I think the first part of the book for me I was way more interested in than the second part. And I don't know why, because for me it was like a 4-star read. And then, I don't know, it just kind of lost me, but for no reason other than just a vibe. I do want to read on. This was expensive. Like this was £18 for this book. It was a lot. So I don't think I will be paying for book 2. I think book 3 is actually a novella, and book 4 is gonna be coming out maybe this year. Like it's not out yet. I do want to read them, but I will be reading them on Kindle. I think I'll just buy them and download them because it's only like £4. I don't know. If I'm so unsure, then obviously, I don't know. It wasn't a 5-star, I can say that, but I don't know if it's like 3.5 or 3.75. I'm thinking maybe 3.75. I think I enjoyed it as much as I like the Foxglove King that I read yesterday. So yeah, I'm glad I read it, and I will be continuing to read the series. But at the first half of the book I thought, oh, I'm immediately just gonna download the next one on Kindle and read. But now that I finished it, I'm like, I want to read something else. Next, I think we're gonna pick up A Sorcery of Thorns. I think that's what I'm leaning towards. I feel like that would be easy enough to smash out, so we're gonna read that. I was really getting into that there. Pretty much all I listen to at the moment is Dutch Melrose. That's about it. That's all I pretty much listened to this year. Definitely my new favourite artist, like of this year. Gonna be in my Spotify Wrapped for sure. And if you don't know, then get to know. Or if you're on Book Talk side of TikTok, then you've probably heard his songs before. They're used in a lot of edits and references for books, so. But we're gonna start book 2. We're reading Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. And this is printed a little bit bigger. It's YA and it's 552 pages. So I'd like to finish it in around like 4.5 hours. Let's start it now. Headphones going back on, but instead of Dutch Melrose, it will be Brown Noise. We are 206 pages into this book now. I would say this is very much giving like cozy fantasy vibes. I'm like halfway. I'm just under halfway, but I'm just gonna sit and binge the rest of the book once I've had a shower so I can get into some comfy PJs and just read this, and then hopefully start my Kindle read, even if I can just get a chapter or 2 of that ready for tomorrow. But I'm already tired. I've had like 2 matches, 2 Diet Cokes today. We're gonna have like a big heavy reading day tomorrow. Honestly, probably get to like 15 hours tonight. Like we'll have to read 15 hours tomorrow. So I wanna get some sleep in so I can wake up early and read, because there's a lot of books I wanna read. But I went on Goodreads today and Mariana was posting about a book that she's reading, and it's making me want to read that book now, so I might just read that tomorrow because I can't stop thinking about it. But this book, I'm enjoying this book. I think if you like Ruthless Vows and Divine Rivals, then you would probably like this. Like it's a YA as well, but it's giving like young adult cozy fantasy academia vibes. Very sweet. And Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows was like heavy on the romance with like a fantasy setting, and so far like we've almost halfway through this book and there's not a romance story yet, though like it's hinted at one. If you haven't read this and you love Divine Rivals, I'd say give this a try if you want similar cozy academia fantasy young adult vibes, because it is really beautiful and I'm really enjoying the writing in this. So I think it's honestly going to be really easy for me to just sit and read. I don't know if it's because it's just like YA and we've had a lot of like the world building and understanding already for this. I feel like my brain can just like easily take in what is happening, but I'm excited to see where this story goes. But then I'm definitely going to jump into something adult I think after. I don't know why, I'm just like really enjoying my adult fantasy books at the moment, like something a bit more layered. I love YA books. Like, typically YA fantasy books have been my preference, but a lot of the YA fantasy books I'm reading don't go too much in depth in terms of like character development. Adult fantasy books just feel more real. Like, the ones that I have been reading go really in depth with, again, the character development, trauma, real world issues and struggles, and like these characters and worlds are complex. Whereas YA, I feel like, depending on the book, it can be quite superficial, quite shallow, quite surface level. And I don't know, I'm enjoying the more real, heavier books right now. And I usually just feel more connected to it. Sorry, I was just noticing that how some of my books have fallen over. Ignore that. But anyways, I'm gonna have a quick shower so I can continue with this book, because I'm ready to just like sit and read it. I'll probably finish it in like an hour or so, to be fair. That's the goal. An hour and a half. We'll see. I think I can do that. So it is the next morning. I finished A Sorcery of Thorns. I thought it was really cute. Like I said, my thoughts didn't really change that much from the last time I spoke to you about it. So very much like cozy YA fantasy. I think if people are looking for Divine Rivals recommendations of similar things to read, this is what I would recommend. And then I started Trial of the Sun Queen, but I didn't get that far in it, so I don't really have any thoughts or anything to say about it at the moment. So I think, oh, my timer's turned off. Where did my timer go? Am I gonna have to start a new timer? Well, I took a screenshot. I took a screenshot last night before I went to bed, so I can start the timer on that, but that is annoying. Okay, well, restarting the timer. And then we're just gonna keep reading, because we have like 15 hours of reading to get through today, and I am so stubborn that I want to get through it all today. So let's read. I'm 30% of the way through Trial of the Sun Queen. I've had so many people tell me to read this, and now I get it. I see why. I do kind of wish I started it sooner, but I'm excited. I am loving it so far. Very much enjoying it. I didn't really have anything to say earlier because it's just like setting up the story, but also I pretty much went into it blind. I knew that it's like the Hunger Games with like The Bachelor, which sounds very intriguing. And so far it is. You know, the first 100 pages are just sort of setting up the story and giving background context into some of the characters, but it's very much a book where you have like 100 questions. You're like, wait, where are they? And who is that? What is going on? It's dual point of view, so we've got two different characters, two subplots happening right now, and they're not connected. They've not met, they've not talked, they're not even at the same place. So I'm interested to see how that goes and how they'll come back and meet, because I'm sure that's gonna happen. I kind of just want to like read the full series now. Like, I'm kind of into it. So I definitely think that's what I'm gonna do after this 24-hour reading challenge, is like I'm just gonna read Trial of the Sun Queen, because there are 3 books out, so I'll have like another 2 to read, which is what I'll probably spend the next week doing. But I'm very into it. This is good so far. I had some chores to do, and I was making my soup for dinner later on and doing a bit of like cleaning and tidying up and stuff, so I've used one of my Audible credits to listen to the book while I was doing that, and I listen in times like 1.75 speed, because anything slower than that is just too slow. My reading speed is faster than that, but if I listen to my actual reading speed, it's just gibberish. Slows it down a little bit, but it's fun because it breaks up a bit, and also, you know, lets me make full use of my 24 hours in this reading challenge, because I still have some little things I need to do. I need to make food and that, but this book is so good that I didn't want to put it down and go and do things and come back to it. Like, I wanted to read it while I was doing things. So I was like, oh, I'll listen to the audiobook. I've also had some comments saying things like audiobooks aren't real books. And I'm just gonna address this once. Like, I don't listen to full audiobooks. I've only listened to like 4 out of the 125 books I've read. 4 have been partially listened to in audiobooks, and I read alongside them. But I think if you're sitting here and saying audiobooks don't count as real books, it's a little bit ableist, guys, because some people can't physically read. So let's be mindful of that. However you consume a book is up to you. And today I want to do a little bit of mixed media and mix both. So If you're telling me that it doesn't count, you can leave my comments. Thank you very much. We're gonna go and continue reading. And I made another matcha already. Not even finished one book in, but I need the caffeine. 12.5 hours to go. I kind of just want to read book 2. I'm not going to. That was fun. I think this is what we're gonna pick up next. Literally the first page. Some people call these guilty pleasure reads, but why should I feel guilt for wanting to escape to somewhere else even for a little while? Me. This is like an adult fantasy book, very mature content. The way it's reading is like a children's book right now. I don't know why. Like, not even just that it's very casual, but a little bit cringe. Dramatic though. Oh, what am I reading? If you don't like spicy books, this is not for you at all. The spice in it is giving me like later Zodiac Academy book vibes. Been a few spicy scenes so far, but the spice has practically been between two of the other main characters, two of the other main male characters. Like, there is LGBTQ+ representation in this, and I would also check trigger warnings because our main female character kind of has like, not Stockholm syndrome, but previous relationship abuse. So very adult, but it's so jarring because the way it's written, it's so contradictory. Like, it's, how do I word this? If you're looking for like a big fantasy book series that you can get into with like amazing, intense world building with like really thought out plots and characters and like a story that feels real, then this isn't for you. This is guilty pleasure. This is make-believe, made-up fantasy fun. It's got sensitive and mature topics, but it's whimsical, but in an adult sense. Like, the way it's written to me feels like I'm reading something like Heartless by Marissa Meyer. Like, it's giving that like young YA narrative, and there's not much like depth. What's happening is like 18+ content. It's not a story that you're gonna be like sucked into, be like, this is the greatest world ever and I'm emotionally attached to the characters. No, this is just fun. This is just this is such an easy read. I've not wanted to put it down. Like, I cannot put it down. I kept being like, oh, I'll just read another chapter and then I'll take a break. I'll read another chapter and then I'll feed Cooper. No, sorry, Cooper got fed an hour later today because I could not put this down. And I have less than an hour of it to go. So I think I'm just gonna sit and finish it and then, you know, get some food, have a quick shower break, and then continue. I'm definitely not gonna finish this 24 hours like this evening. Time is going by slow, guys. I have 10 hours left on the clock, so I think I'm gonna do another like 6 hours now, and then I'll probably wake up early tomorrow to read as much as I can because that's the only way I'm gonna be able to finish it. I will be reading on in the series. I have book 2, but I won't be picking up book 2 immediately today. Like, I'm gonna need a break after this. I have Dance of Thieves, but I don't know if I even want to read that after. I kind of just want to read some like fun light Kindle books, so I might do that instead. All right, let's finish this book. Something about fairy tale romance, guys. Oh my god. This is a quote that one of the main characters has just said to the female character. Oh my god. It's not a spark, it's an eternal fire that burns from deep within my heart and reaches out to you. And every moment I am not touching you, it eats my soul inside out, tearing me apart until merely looking at you is an anguish I would only wish upon my worst enemy. Oh my god. Wait, what? Oh, I have to read on now. For how like predictable a retelling or reimagining is. Like, you know what's gonna happen. You already know the story. It's just that story in a different font. But like, It was getting really good. And like the one thing with me is with reverse harems or when there's like multiple love interests, I don't care. I still ship one. I don't care if they're supposed to have more than one. And I've read a few reverse harems and get it, but polyamory, you know, not for me. I'm a one woman type of gal, even in my stories. For in this though, like out of the 4 male main men, we've not really had an equal amount of all of them. So I don't know where the story is going, but I need to read on. Oh man, I can't believe that. That was actually so good. Because I've got 9 hours to go in this 24-hour challenge. I found out that book 2 I can start as an audiobook. So we're gonna do that while I have a shower and have dinner, and then I can pick up the physical book and keep reading it after. But we're gonna do that because that's gonna save me so much time. I don't know why I haven't done this in other videos before, but it makes so much more sense because then instead of having to pause the timer to go and like take Cooper for a walk, feed her, have a shower, make myself food, you know, those type of things, I can actually listen to the book that I'm reading and then pick it up when I'm done. Oh, just realizing how silly I am for not having thought of that before. Anyways.
Woven by Gold by Elizabeth Helen. It's been 4 months and the rosebush is still frozen.
And suddenly I'm drenched in a spray of cold water. Well, that's a shock to the system.
Sorry, why is Dayton British when no one else is in this audiobook? But secondly, that is Reese. That is Reese's voice. You cannot tell me. Whoa, sorry, I heard that and was like, hang on a second. Why didn't we get that narrator as the High Lord of the Night Court? Are you kidding me? Why did we get a high-pitched American doing the accent when it could be this? Wait, I need to put it in like normal speed to like, oh my god, heart palpitations, man.
Number of new briars that have grown in the last few months. Fuck the Prince of Thorns.
No, I can't actually fucking do this. Oh my god, I need a minute. Whoa, who is that? That is not Dayton, that is not Day. But I love it. I love it for the Bat Boys.
Ache in my chest started to grow, and see Carol kneeling on the ground among the overgrown turpentines and briars.
Surprisingly, I'm really enjoying this book. Definitely not going to be for everyone. Just going to preface that like straight off the jump. But I'm enjoying it. I've got like 350 pages left to go and we've got just under 7 hours on the timer. So I definitely will finish this book and then, well actually I have like 400 pages to go, but I'm definitely going to finish this book and then we will still have time to read another one. How ridiculous is that? Look at all that to be read. I'm just going to sit and read as much as I can in bed. It's kind of hard for me to like talk about or update with this specific book because it's obviously book 2 from what I've just read and I'm not going to give you spoilers, but I am enjoying book 2 a lot more. Book 2 is there's more happening, it's a bit more faster pace. We already know the main characters and the sort of story, so now it's just evolving. Like the first was very much, had a lot of elements from the original Beauty and the Beast, so it, like I said, it was quite predictable and a little bit cheesy and cliche, but quite superficial. Whereas this, we're getting a little bit more depth, but it's just a fun read. Like if you just want something light and fun that's easy to read that you don't want to put down while you're reading, then this is that type of book. Is it going to be a book series that's going to change my life? No, but it's a fun vibe and that's what I want. It's making me excited about reading and that's what we love. That's why I love to read. I'm feeling really inspired today. I'm feeling really... The books I've been reading have been making me feel good. Even though I've not had any 5-star reads in this video so far, it has been really, really fun. Like, I just love reading, guys. There is genuinely nothing I love more than reading. So why isn't like a professional reader a job? Is that a thing? Like, that's my dream job. I just want to sit and read books all day. How fun is that? One day. We'll get there one day. We did finish Woven by Gold last night, but I didn't start anything else. And we have 2 hours left on the timer. Reading this with the audiobook really did slow down the time for me because the audiobook is nowhere near as fast as like my brain reads, but it was still really fun. And I really enjoyed the story. And I kind of wish I had book 3. I kind of just want to like get up to date, but what I think is happening is that each book focuses on one of the main male characters and their story specifically, though you still get all the characters. That's what it feels like. Because there's 4 books and there's 4 guys, I feel like we're gonna get one of each and their story. No, I've just looked up what the next book has. Oh wait. This book will be this series will be 7 books? That's what someone on Goodreads is saying. I thought it was going to be 4 books. I don't know how many books there are going to be in the series, but there is a book 3 that is out. I will go and order that book so then I can be up to date with the series, because book 4 comes out in September. So I will want to read book 3 soon, and then I can pick up book 4, because I don't care if I read an incomplete series or a completed series. What I don't like is starting a bunch of series and not finishing them. And then obviously it is the next day, but I only have 2 hours and 19 minutes left on my timer to start a final book. So I think we're going to start a Kindle read, something that's pretty easy that I can just make my way through. So we'll do that and go have a little look and see what I fancy. But yeah, this I enjoyed more than book 1. I'd say 3.75. And I do want to read on. I actually asked over on my Instagram what book I should read, because I made a Bookstagram account, so you should come follow me, because I post like a lot of stories and behind the scenes and extra content and stuff there, but very much an open conversation there to talk about books. My voice. But essentially I asked you guys what I should read, and then I decided not to listen to any of you. I'm so sorry. Because everyone said for me to read the Atlas 6, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna read it this month, but I have a video idea that I want to film for that. Kind of just want to sit and binge a book right now, and I don't think I can sit and do that with the Atlas 6 right now. Like, my mood reading headspace is not there. So we're gonna go for A Touch of Golden Madness, because I've seen a few people talking about it and saying that the ending of the book gave them Sarah J Maas ACTA vibes, and that's enough to intrigue me. So it's a 500-page book. Obviously not going to finish it in 2 hours, but I'm going to read for as long as I possibly can now for the rest of the evening and see how close I get to finishing it. But we're going to set the timer for 2 hours and just read this Kindle book in bed, because I don't want to do anything else. I am exhausted. So let's read the final book and get through the last couple of hours. So the timer went off last night. I did my 2 hours of reading and we got 206 pages into A Touch of Golden Madness. And I have to say, guys, like, I'm gonna finish it in this vlog because we need to experience this together. Essentially, this book, because I need to talk about it, there are the kinetics, the elementals, and the humans. Now, as the name suggests, the kinetics are beings who use kinetic energy, and there's a whole intricate magic system at the start. They run through what all the powers are, but the kinetics, there's different types of kinetics for different kinetic energy, like sound, microwave, and there's like different colors, and you can see the colors on their body when they're using their powers, type of thing. It's so in depth. And then there's the elementals, and the elementals and the kinetics are at war with one another. They're fighting. It's very dystopian, apocalyptic fantasy with magical beings. And the two main characters, we have Grey and we have Griffin. One's a kinetic and one is an elemental. They're both basically trying to kill each other. Grey is a princess and she's also the king's assassin, who is her father. And there's dual character perspective chapters. So you have a chapter for Grey and then you have a chapter for Griffin. So we're getting the insight into two of them. But obviously, as every fantasy book, nothing is ever as it seems. There's betrayal, there's secrets, there's deception, there's lies. We're not getting the full picture. And we sort of know only what Grey knows, even though we're getting both characters' perspectives. We're told as much as Grey is aware of, and Griffin is the one who knows more and has more of the answers. So as we're reading on, we're finding out more. Straight off the bat, there is so much drama. It is action. Like, chapter 1 sets the whole book. Straight from chapter 1, you are thrown into it. You're like, whoa, what is going on? Even though the magic system is like so complex, and I'm still trying to like pick up on little bits, and we're getting more as it goes on, like more understanding and more depth and detail into it. Right at the front, there's like a glossary and terms, please use that. But it's not too overwhelming, and it's building up at a good pace. I am a little bit obsessed with it. I mean, I literally just read Quicksilver last week, and that was using metals and alchemy and literal Quicksilver, you know? And now I'm reading this, and it's giving not the same vibes, but similar vibes. Though that one's more fae. This is more like assassin. I've also put some true fruit in a bowl. True fruit sent me some chocolate covered fruit. Also, as soon as Mariana saw that I was reading this on Goodreads, she messaged me on TikTok and requested live updates on my progress. So literally just been going back and forth. This is definitely a book that is like worth buddy reading with a friend. Also, in my last video I was talking about like my favorite booktubers and book talkers and book creators and stuff. I already shared Mariana's profile, but this is it again. Go and follow her, Mariana's Reads. I wouldn't be reading this book if it wasn't because of her, so thank you. She's also hilarious and we have similar book tastes. So if you like the books I like and what I read and stuff, you'll probably love her if you aren't already following her, because she has many a TikTok followers. But if you go and follow her, comment on her video and tell her that you came from Emmy's YouTube video. Just taking photos of quotes that I'm highlighting on my Kindle every 5 minutes in this book. I'm gonna have to get a physical copy and reread it so I can tab it, because there's just so much good stuff in this. Grey's inner monologue every time Griffin is described, her thoughts after, I'm like, yeah, same sis, same. Wait. No words. No words. What in the plot twist is happening, man? It's all happening right now. I actually think I'm gonna be sick. Oh, I have a bad feeling about this. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh! You're joking. I actually feel sick. That was so good. No thoughts in my head. I'm just shocked. I need to like sit and process what I've just read now. But that was 5 stars. Yeah, there has to be 5 stars. What a high to end this video on, because that was the only 5-star book I read in this reading challenge. But 6 books, man, and saved the best for last. We did end up reading for 27 hours, but you know, no regrets. If you've made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you. Make sure you're subscribed. And I literally have nothing else to say because my brain is just... Wow, what a book. God, I love reading. See you guys in the next video. Bye.